The message crackled to life on a frequency long thought dead. Cass Brener, grizzled engineer extraordinaire, leaned closer to the flickering console, his brow furrowed as the static resolved into a garbled distress call. The voice, distorted and weak, sent chills down his spine. It spoke of a ship adrift, a vessel known as the Alderaan. The name sparked a memory, a forgotten legend whispered in hushed tones in space taverns. A ghost ship, some said, a graveyard of ambition. Cass hesitated, a knot of unease tightening in his gut. The Alderaan was infamous, a relic of a bygone era. Why would it suddenly call for help after years of silence? Logic screamed at him to ignore the call, to label it a hoax or a trap. Yet, something drew him in. The call tugged at him, a siren song from the depths of space. The engineer in him, ever curious, itched for a challenge. The adventurer in him craved the unknown. With a deep breath, Cass punched in the coordinates and set course for the source of the signal. As his ship, the Sparrowhawk, shot off into the black abyss, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was stepping into a mystery far deeper than he could have imagined. The Alderaan awaited. He was ready. Or so he thought. The Sparrowhawk shuddered as it exited hyperspace on the fringes of a desolate star system. Before Cass stretched the skeletal silhouette of the Alderaan. It wasn't just a ship, it was a leviathan, a decaying monument to a forgotten age. Jagged metal teeth formed its gaping docking bay, as if the vessel itself was about to consume him whole. Rusting metal and flickering lights painted a picture of utter neglect, yet a faint, pulsating energy field hummed around the ship. It was alive. Hesitantly, Cass guided the Sparrowhawk towards the Alderaan's open maw. The docking clamps groaned as they secured his ship, the sound echoing through the emptiness. He pulled on his battered spacesuit, the familiar weight a comfort in the face of the unknown. Stepping out onto the Alderaan was like stepping into a tomb. The air hung heavy and stale, thick with the dust of ages. A low hum vibrated through the metal floor, a constant, unsettling reminder that he was not alone. The Alderaan had a story to tell. Cass could feel it in his bones, and he was about to become a part of it. The main corridor stretched before him, a tunnel of shadows and flickering emergency lights. The silence was broken only by the hiss of oxygen escaping his suit, and the unsettling groan of the ship around him. Every step felt like an intrusion, an echo in the stillness. Cass couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The shadows themselves seemed to shift and whisper, the flickering lights playing tricks on his eyes. He passed rows of darkened cabins, their doors sealed shut, each one a potential window into the Alderaan's past. The air grew colder as he descended deeper into the ship's bowels, the metallic scent tinged with something ancient and vaguely organic. It was as if the ship itself was breathing, its lifeblood running cold and sluggish through its metallic veins. He was searching for the source of the distress signal, for any sign of life. But what he found was something far more unsettling. The ship itself was calling to him, whispering its secrets in the groaning metal and flickering lights. He found them in the ship's dilapidated command center, bathed in the ghostly glow of a central holographic display. Two women, identical in every way, stood with their backs to him. They were tall and slender, their long silver hair cascading down their backs like waterfalls. Their skin was pale, almost translucent, and their eyes, when they finally turned to meet his, shone with an otherworldly light. They were beautiful, ethereal, unnerving. "Welcome, Cass Brener," one of the women spoke. Her voice was soft, melodic, as if it flowed from the ship itself. "We have been expecting you." The other woman inclined her head, a faint smile playing on her lips. "My name is Leary," she said, "and this is my sister, Vexa." Cass stood there, speechless, caught between awe and apprehension. Who were these women, these ethereal beings who seemed as much a part of the ship as the metal and wires? And how did they know his name? Days turned into weeks as Cass worked tirelessly to repair the Alderaan's failing systems. Leary and Vexa were ever present, their movements fluid and graceful, their presence both calming and unsettling. Cass learned their rhythms, the subtle shifts in their expressions, the way their eyes seemed to reflect the ship's moods. Leary, he discovered, was warmth and light, her touch gentle as she guided his repairs. Vexa, on the other hand, was cool and watchful, her gaze sharp as she observed his every move. The Alderaan seemed to respond to Cass's presence. Lights flickered back to life at his touch. Engines coughed and sputtered, their dormant power slowly returning. He could feel a pulse beneath his feet, a faint heartbeat that echoed the rhythm of his own. The ship was alive, of that he was certain, and Lyri and Vexa were its keepers, their destinies intertwined with the fate of the Alderaan. He was drawn to them, to their mystery, to the secrets they held within their piercing gazes. But there was a wariness, too, a nagging feeling that he was a pawn in a game he didn't fully understand.